If you feel like you don't have a voice, this video is for you. If you've seen my videos before, welcome back. If you are new to my videos, my name is Ross and I'm an intuitive counselor. And today's video is when you don't have a voice. And what does that look like? And so for those of you that identify with not having a voice, you're very aware of the struggle and the anxiety and possibly even the depression that goes along with not being able to find your voice. And all of the situations in life that can feel like pretty much a big struggle when you don't feel like you have access to your voice. And I wanted to start with, really understanding like, how does this happen? How can this occur? And of course, like many other things that I've talked about, the answer lies in our early childhood experiences. And we have to look back. And again, it's this dynamic of we need to have connection and attachment with our caregivers. And so anything that will sacrifice or threaten that attachment, we will do whatever we need to do to maintain that attachment. And so one of the things around that is not speaking our truth as children. And again, if we go back to that energy of being a child and perhaps not being heard or not being valued or not being seen accurately, eventually you just give up. It's like, what's the point? What's the point of asking for something if I'm not going to get it? And that is usually where this comes from. It's like we tend to, in this realm of emotional trauma, we tend to go to two extremes. One is, and especially with voice, if one is that we completely suppress our voice. So it's like, I'm not heard, I'm not valued, I'm not seen. So I'm just not going to bother sharing my voice because the pain of sharing my voice is greater than the pain of not sharing my voice. Or we go to the other side, which is this like hyper response, which is to become very active and overshare and talk too much and take up extra space. And so it's like we overcompensate for not having had a voice in our childhood experiences or in other experiences. And I should say that childhood experiences can include our experiences at school, our experiences at work, and especially the experiences we have with our caregivers. And for me, I grew up in a family system that was, especially my mother. My mom was very much suppressing my voice, not believing that I had a voice. I remember she would say things to me like, "Who said that? Your brother must have said that. You couldn't have said that." And it really just eroded my self-esteem and my beliefs in myself. And eventually I just got to this place of not being able to share my voice. And then that would come into relationships. As I was thinking about this video, I was thinking about all the times when I didn't vocalize what I was feeling, when I didn't share my truth, when I didn't speak up what I wanted to speak up. And ultimately in relationships, that caused a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of discomfort. And I'm imagining that you can relate to that in some way. And that carried on through into my work situations and in dynamics with my managers, and it caused me so much anxiety. Like I was thinking about a time when I worked at Starbucks and as a manager, and we would go on these big conferences and we would have these big breakout sessions, and I would be terrified that someone was going to call upon me and that I needed to speak up and answer a question in front of that group. And I think I shared before in another video that I had a teacher in grade 8 or 9 that made me do an oral report even though I wasn't prepared, and asked him to not make me do that. And I had to stand up in the front of the class and be embarrassed. And so the good news is that for me anyway, there is another side to this, and I did a lot of work on myself and was able to work through this. And here I am doing videos. I'm usually the go-to person in my workplace when it comes to having difficult conversations. I really kind of enjoy them actually. And I find I have a lot of confidence around it. So it's like I share that to let you know that the dial on this can change, and it is possible to change this dynamic and not be stuck with not having a voice. And so how do you work with this? And ultimately, it depends on you and your situation. But ultimately, we want to bring a sense of awareness and curiosity to this. It's like first starting with, why didn't I have a voice, or why did I feel like I didn't have a voice? What were the situations that occurred in my life that made it seem like I didn't have a voice, or made me choose to not share my voice? The other thing you can do is, and this was true for me, is try and notice, where do you have a voice? Like, where and when is it that you do have a voice? Because I would imagine that there are parts in your life where you do feel safe, and that might look like journaling, writing. It might look like commenting on Facebook groups. It might look different than you'd imagine. So where are the places that you do express yourself and that you do feel like you have a voice? And like journaling was a big one for me when I got onto this journey, like being able to have a safe place to write. And I really enjoyed the noticing the voice that would show up in journaling when I was talking about something in my journal or writing about something in my journal. It was like there was this a voice that emerged that kind of was had a level of positivity that perhaps I didn't have. The other thing is, look for small ways that you can practice using your voice. And with this, I'll say that, intention creates opportunities. So if you create an intention that you want to have opportunities to be able to practice sharing your voice, they will show up. And maybe the first step is just looking for those opportunities and seeing the opportunities and not necessarily taking action. And I think I said this in a previous video as well, but use your friend group. Use people that are close to you and let them know, like, I'm really wanting to practice using my voice. Can you be a supporter of that journey for me? Can you help me? And can I practice using my voice with you as a safe person that will allow space for that? So really, it's important to find ways that work for you. And ultimately, depending on your situation, you might need to seek some support. And so you might seek out someone like myself to help you work through the steps of regaining your voice and reclaiming your voice. And you might appreciate that support to have an ability in that safe container to practice um, with your voice and practice using your voice. There's other things you can do as well. This is just a few, but like Toastmasters is a great way to begin to use your voice, and there's often lots of people there that are in the same boat, that they're wanting to enhance their skills of public speaking, overcome their fears. I've not personally done Toastmasters, but I've heard amazing things from many of my clients that have done that. Another great place is improv classes. What I love about improv is that it brings in this energy of play, and anytime we are playing, it brings us out of our left brain and into our right brain, and allows that experience to kind of surface. So play and improv is a great way to practice your voice. Things like song circles, singing coaches, anything that is about learning to express and enhance your voice can be super helpful. So yeah, this video is absolutely not completely comprehensive. I know that this is a big topic, and I just wanted to bring some awareness to it. And so I think I'll leave it there. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, please hit like. If you know someone who might benefit from the video, consider sharing it. If you want to learn more about my work, you can go to my website, which is in the description. And I just want to thank you again for watching this video, and we will see you again next time. Sending you unconditional love. Bye for now.